And we're back on the Morgan Streetman Show. Just look at those numbers. So look at how much it costs, Morgan. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see, okay, you have $750 a day to take care of someone. I can take care of myself with that amount of money.
I mean, you'd think the kids would be at Disney World or something, with, all the food they could eat because, I mean, $750.
I don't get that much in a month.
That's what I'm saying, Pat George. How in the world is it costing that much to give them a ratty little mat on the floor, a space blanket, and they're inside rooms with plastic sheeting in what looks like some kind of a big facility, like a big high school gym or something? I mean, how can it cost that much? What's the answer? The answer is the waste, fraud, and abuse. It's just like in every government contract. The inefficiencies built into these things they would stagger the mind. If you were a normal person and you ran your household budget like this, you would be bankrupt. You would be absolutely bankrupt.
And we are.
And, well, as a country, we essentially are bankrupt because we're running it like this. I mean, like you said, $750 a day for every single one of these migrant children. Now, you think there's not some high-powered executive who's making a huge bonus off of getting that government contract to house and the facilities to hold these children? $750 a day? Is that the cheapest we could negotiate? The great negotiating power of the United States government? I mean, why didn't they just give them $1,000 a day? Why isn't each one of these kids have their own hotel room at $750 a day plus all you can eat?
Cheaper.
It would. Plus all you can eat off the room service menu. We'd be like maybe $500 a day at that. Give each kid their own hotel room. I mean, at least the money then would go into a real business, right? Versus these government contractors and these facilities. And, the money that they're spending, because they've just awarded a contract, told you about $86 million that they've awarded for hotel rooms near the border to hold 1,200 migrant family members who've crossed the U.S.-Mexico border. And again, that's $400 a night. I mean, is this like the Ritz? You think, where are these people staying? Because I bet you it's not the Ritz. I bet you it's like the Motel 6, or the Best Western maybe. What's that, La Quinta? Maybe it's La Quinta. But I guarantee you it's not a hotel that you or I would pay $400 a night for. I mean, they're paying have you ever looked on a hotel door on the back of the door and seen the rack rate on the room?
Yeah, I did that once, and I said, Amy, come here. She goes, don't read that.
Because it's not the real rate, right? That's not what they actually charge for the hotel room. If they did, they'd never have anybody stay there, except for the roaches. The roaches would stay for free every night. Nobody's paying the $400 rack rate. Well, guess what? The U.S. government is in a massive contract where they are $86 million. So you would think if you buy more, right? I mean, isn't that the way it works for most of us? You buy more, you save money. You buy more, each one costs less. No, this is you buy more and you pay a rate that nobody pays. No real person pays the rack rate for a hotel room. Well, except for the U.S. government. So once again, I mean, waste, fraud, and abuse is just rampant throughout the entire purchasing process of the U.S. government. And we're seeing that played out here in the immigration context as well. And there's more coming on this. There's a lot more coming because they're going to try to deal with the amnesty issue. And, of course, they say there are 10 to 12 million. You're not even allowed to call them illegal aliens. Again, a legal term. You can't call them that anymore. Now you're supposed to call them undocumented migrants or undocumented Democrats is what they really hope. There's 10 to 12 million of those in the country. How long have you been hearing that number?
Been hearing that number.
Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. How have you been hearing that number bandied about? I mean, for years, right? It's like it hasn't been increasing at all. I bet you the real number is something 30, 40, something million people. I bet you that's the real number. Not 10 to 12 million, which is what this is the narrative engineers. This is what they're selling you. Oh, we're just letting 10 million people have citizenship. They've been here for a long time. You mean they just got here? Just got here because they knew this is coming? Oh, and by the way, we're going to give them health care. They haven't paid into the system, but we're going to give them all the benefits of full citizenship, even though they haven't paid into the system. I mean, how's that going to work? Financially, how's it going to work? I mean, I wish we had the money to just feed, clothe, and house the entire world. But why is it that people that can actually get to our border are going to get those benefits, whereas people in Africa who have, really no chance to get here, they're not getting those benefits?
Maybe we should leave and come in through the border again.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking.
Exactly, Pat. There we. Oh me. Well, it's a major problem. It's a crisis at the border. The administration won't admit it. Like you said, Roxanne, they won't let anybody go down there and interview anybody or take pictures because they're trying to control the narrative. They're trying to tell you that up is down and down is up, and the sky's not blue. They're trying to tell you this, and they want you to believe it, and the news media keeps repeating it, and a lot of people do believe it.
The best of telling you how to think and what to think about and up is down and down is up is Google. And when you Google, can undocumented immigrants vote? Google's answer is, the simple answer is yes. Of course they can, and they do. But it's not always allowed.
And how do they do that? Yeah, I mean, exactly. Well, maybe through mail-in. Yeah, we've lost control of this country. So you don't need to be a citizen. Why? But that's really what the equity of it all, I mean, we have to come back to. Why is it just the people that can get over our border that get these benefits, that get to vote? I mean, why doesn't the whole world have the right to vote in our elections? I mean, seriously, if you're following their logic, explain to me the reason why not. Oh, because these people were able to get here. Well, they were advantaged by their birth in a country that's close enough to the U.S. that they can get here. That's not fair. That's not equity. Equity should mean the whole world gets all this stuff. Anyway, it's just nonsense. I hope you understand I'm not being serious, but it's the nonsense of the way that they're thinking about it. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.